A Louisiana police officer was recently fired over an incredibly racist and disturbing comment. So now the chief of police of Kaplan, about 87 miles west of Baton Rouge, said that Officer Stephen Alcoin, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, uh, commented under a local news station's live feed at the governor's coronavirus news conference on May 15th, according to a CBS affiliate, that Alcoin's post was made on its Facebook page in response to another commenter who wrote that the virus, or coronavirus, COVID-19, was created to kill all blacks is death. He wrote in response, well, it didn't work. How unfortunate. Yes, it didn't work. Wow. Unacceptable, dude. Don't make that comment. It's unacceptable for anybody, but especially a police officer. I mean, 100,000 Americans are dead. Many in cities, disproportionately black, and you're out here saying, how unfortunate that it didn't kill more black people. Like, you realize black Americans are just as American as anybody else. Probably more so because they literally built America. America was built on their backs, the backs of slavery, their labor, their blood, all without their consent. These are human beings. But look, you want to talk about the virus, right? No, there's coronavirus, but then there's an original virus, and that's, of course, racism in this country. So now, as a result, once the department was made aware of his horrible comments, Chief Joshua Hardy says, I'm going to look into it. And then looked into it, and the officer was terminated and had issued an apology. Chief Hardy and the Kaplan Police Department would like to apologize for this matter, according to a statement. As a police officer, we're held to a higher standard than normal civilians, which is why we give you, of course, a badge and a gun, and, pay and all these, privileges that you get. And so he says, you got to watch what you do. You got to watch what you say. You can't just go and post anything you want on social media. Yeah. Now, he told the outlet that the entire Facebook thread was being investigated as well. Quote, there were some other comments further up that was also not suitable for a police officer to be putting on Facebook. So let me amend that and just kind of add to it and say, these are not the types of beliefs suitable for a police officer to have, period. You can't serve and protect the people, all citizens of this country, if you believe that a certain subsection of those people are not human, are subhuman. I mean, come on, you can't. Because, look, we've seen this before. Those people don't protect the community. They keep a section of it down. And that's the problem. That's what we see all over the country. And I wish I could say it's a few bad apples, but no. Here we have white supremacists that have been infiltrating police departments all over the country. Now, there's a report that happened. Look, in 2016, there was a report, and it was based on an FBI memo that they talked about in 2006, right? So this FBI bulletin was warning of white supremacist takeovers of police departments. Now, in that bulletin, the FBI detailed the threat of white nationalists and skinheads infiltrating police in order to, quote, disrupt investigations against fellow members and recruit other white supremacists. The bulletin was released during a period of scandal for many law enforcement agencies throughout the country, including a neo-Nazi gang formed by members of the LA County Sheriff's Department who spent their time, of course, harassing Black and Latino communities. Yeah. Similar investigations revealed officers and entire agencies with hate group ties in Illinois, Ohio, and Texas. In the bulletin, the FBI identified white supremacists in law enforcement as a concern because of their access to both restricted areas vulnerable to sabotage and elected officials or people who could be seen as potential targets for violence. The memo also warned of something called ghost skins, hate group members who don't overtly display their beliefs in order to blend into society and covertly advance white supremacist causes. At least one white supremacist group had reportedly encouraged ghost skins to seek positions in law enforcement for the capability of alerting skinhead crews of pending investigative action against them. So this bulletin was 14 years ago, 2006. It was during the Bush administration, right? Of course, this comes out, conservatives flip out. Oh my God, how dare you, right? How dare you go after white supremacists? We can't do that. No, we got to go after the Muslims because the Muslims are very, very dangerous, right? In America? No, we actually have more people that are killed by white supremacist anti-government groups than radical Muslims. And yet we don't look into, I mean, we should be looking into both because both are threats, but one threat is obviously much bigger than the other, and that's right-wing domestic terrorism. That is the biggest threat. And they didn't do that in the Bush administration. They didn't do that in the Obama administration. Again, because you have complaints from conservative Republicans. Gee, I wonder why they would complain about this. Oh, right. Some of their base, I'm saying some of their base, are these kinds of people, these white supremacists. And so that's a problem, right? And so, look, 10 years after the bulletin, what happened, right? Has anything changed? No, of course they haven't changed. Neither the FBI nor state and local law enforcement agencies have established any system for vetting personnel for potential links to white supremacist hate groups. I bet you dollars to donuts, a lot of these bad cops are part of these groups. Or they have white supremacist views, or at least they're just kind of racist. And people wonder why black people don't trust the police. Not only do they defend white supremacy, but they also defend established structures of moneyed power that disenfranchise not only minorities, of course, but the poor as well. We're not going to see a big change when it comes to policing until we change the culture, the training, and of course, root out those who seek out this power only to abuse it. Until then, we're going to have a system of injustice, systemic injustice, racism, and hatred. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.